everyone, welcome to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today we have a little bit of a different video for you than we had before, even though we did have a couple like that, but it's a little bit different. We are right now in a gorgeous day in Los Angeles, and I'm sitting here and we would like to tell you a little bit more about our lives, and so that you can understand a little bit about where we're coming from. We are Orthodox Jews, and as you probably have seen from our video, we dress a certain way, we try to act a certain way, and that way is we try to be modest. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. So I'm sure many of you have questions about what we were dressed, why we were dressed like that, in our skirts and our long sleeves, and we were going on very hot hikes, like in the Grand Canyon. It was boiling hot. So we decided that, it would be a great idea for you to get to know us a little bit better, and we would like to answer any questions that anybody has. So we asked you to send us some questions on Instagram, and I have in front of me a few of those questions, and I'm really excited to answer them. So you'll be able to learn a little bit more about us. So question number one, why are pants considered immodest? So in general, the general answer to that idea, that question, is that there's no piece of clothing per se that's immodest if it actually covers you, because we want our body to be covered, and we cover our elbows, we cover our shirt up to the neckline. So we would never wear a neckline that was very low. For example, this shirt, it goes very low. A lot of people would just wear it like this. We would never wear such a thing. That's why I have a shell underneath, and that's for the modesty. And in terms of the, in the bottom, not the shirt, but we would wear a skirt. Now, why would we wear a skirt instead of pants? Since pants totally cover you. So really, the idea behind the whole thing is that we also, not only do we want to be covered, but we don't want to be wearing anything that's form-fitting, that shows the outline of the body too closely. So, that's always out for interpretation. But with pants, it is not, because it actually shows the whole form of the body from like the waist down. So it's not a matter of being covered per se, where your legs are covered, your hands are covered, and it's not a matter of that, but it's a matter of modesty in the clothing that you wear. And so it can't be too tight, and it has to cover you a certain amount. And I would just like to say, and I'll reiterate it many times, that we're not preaching and we're not telling anybody what they should do. Other people might interpret the halacha, the Torah a little bit differently, but this is what we do, this is how we were taught, and this is what we do, and this is how we understand the idea of modesty. So we're not preaching to anybody, just, to let it out there. Okay, so that was question one. Okay, question two. Why does your skirt have to touch the ground? So the skirt does not have to touch the ground. That's not what it is. It happens to be that my skirts do sometimes touch the ground, but that's because the elastic is out of that skirt and it's falling and dragging on the floor. And I didn't want to pay whatever it was, $30 or $50. I forgot how much they were going to charge me. Damn it, because it has a lot of material. So that has nothing to do. I did have a professor in college say to me, "Oh, I know you're Jewish. I know you're religious Jew because of your skirt." And I tried to explain to him, no, it's not like we're wearing a uniform. It just happens to be that material is like this comfortable material, and it's so easy to wash it. So people just use it, if they're schlepping around, but it has nothing to do with anything. Really, we want our skirts to be below the knee. Some people will, we like to wear it like 2 inches below the knee. Some people do other things, but in terms of the skirt, it doesn't have to be down to the floor. That is completely erroneous. But also just to say that the skirt that if you would look at our videos, you would see that all of our skirts are a little bit more flowing. We don't wear them tight fitting. I know that there are a lot of skirts out there that they're pencil skirts or they're made out of t-shirt material where they're very, very tight. We don't do that. And if you'll ever see me, well, I don't have a skirt like that, but if you'll ever see anybody wearing a skirt like that, usually they'll wear it under something where they've got like let's say a shirt underneath on top, and it makes a cute outfit, but they're not gonna be very form-fitting where you could see the whole outline of the body. That nobody will do. Okay, question number 3. Do you sometimes just wish you could go out in a tank top or miniskirt? Of course. We all do. Sometimes you go outside and you're like, oh my gosh, I would just want to be in the pool all day, or I just want to, why can't I go out like that? But when I do take a step back and I look, like, let's say you look on TV and you see people wearing it, the people that are dressed a little bit more modestly, they just come across better with a little bit more pride in themselves. So that's something that keeps me on track, and that keeps me from doing anything like that. I don't want the modesty issue is mostly for men looking at women, and that is very obviously, it's very intuitive and rational. Everybody logically thinking can see how a woman is more modest, covered up than wearing a tank top. Okay. And the 4th question. Okay, how do you dress like that when it is hot outside? So I'll just tell you a cute little story. We used to go to camp, and when I was much younger, my kids were young, and my husband had a job in a camp, so we lived in the campgrounds. And there was one of the staff members who was a little older than me, and he'd walk around in a sweater, I kid you not, in the boiling hot sun. Black, hot, long sleeve sweater. And I couldn't get it. I just couldn't, nobody could get it. I say, why do you wear that? So he held that his body was cooler because he had the sweater, and this was scientifically, don't ask me, I don't know it, but this was scientifically, he held that his body was much cooler with that sweater on than the way we were all dressed, as cool and cotton as we possibly could get. So that kind of answers the question. Where there's a will, there's a way. It is very hard sometimes to dress like that in the summer, but I'm not going to walk around in a wool skirt or a wool sweater or anything like that. So that's why, if you notice in our video, in our previous videos when we went to Bryce, or we were in the Grand Canyon, it was really hot in the Grand Canyon, that we were wearing flowing skirts. Nothing that was too, like, no pencil skirt because it would be too tight. We needed to have a little bit more cooler air, I guess, with a flowing skirt. I could tell you another story. This happened to my sister when she was in Israel. She was at the Western Wall, and she was dressed modestly, but again, she wasn't wearing sweaters, and she wasn't long down to the floor or anything. And someone in a tank top came over to her at the Western Wall and said to her, "Aren't you hot?" And she said, "Aren't you hot?" Like, if she's hot and I'm hot, we're both hot, then so you're just a drop hotter. She's not like she's wearing a sweater. She's being as cool as she can, but under the, the auspice, the laws, or, of modesty. So, in terms of being hot when it's hot outside, we just live with it. We're not sweating too much. We're just like anybody else. Everybody's hot. We just try to dress as cool as we can, but still under the guides of the modesty. So thank you very much. We're going to try to do this type of question and answer every week. So if you have any specific questions about our family, about our religion, we'd be really happy to answer them. So just put them in the comment section below. So, and also we just want to point out again that this is based on what we do. We are pretty mainstream for Orthodox, but there are people that do other things. We just want to make sure that, we let you all know out there that we understand that other people do different things, and we want you to understand that other people do different things. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.